Arsenal 1, Chelsea 2. Yes, people, welcome back to Arsenal Reviews, a show where we review all Arsenal games. I'm talking friendly, Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. If Arsenal are involved, I'm involved. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing, as I post a lot of football content, especially Arsenal. Literally what my channel centers around, but I do general football content as well. So yeah, normally before we get into the review, I'd shout out the person that got the score prediction right, but unfortunately on this occasion, no one got it correct. It was 2-1 Chelsea, and no one put that. There was a couple 2-2s and 1-1s, but not 2-1 Chelsea. So better luck next time, I guess, in the next game. So yeah, I'm gonna start by giving like the timeline of the match, what happened, some key moments for those of you that missed the match, because it was a paid-for match, it wasn't free. And then after, I'll talk about the implication of this and what we need to do, because trust me, there is a lot of homework that these players need to do, because there was some really poor stuff and some glaring errors. So the game started really with Arsenal being like the team on top. We were in control. Chelsea were relying mostly on the counter-attack. We were the aggressive team, stringing together some passes. It's just we didn't create any clear-cut chance. Went into the first half not having a shot on target, which was really disappointing. And Chelsea ends up taking the lead. And this was because of one of the most glaring things this game anyone could see. I'm pretty sure Stevie Wonder could see the problem here. Our transition defense is absolutely atrocious. It is awful. Every time we go forward and get caught on the counter-attack, it's one-on-one. And it's Pablo Murray, who, to be fair, he's a decent defender. Like he's experienced, but he's not fast. And he's one-on-one against Timo Werner every time. There was already one threat. We didn't learn from our mistakes. And then their goal came from the second one. Timo Werner picked up one-on-one. And he just squares across to Kai Havertz, who's on form after he literally was amazing for Germany in the Euros. And then scored in the Champions League final as well. He just slotted it top bins. Leno had absolutely no chance. And that gave Chelsea the lead after 26 minutes. In the first half, to be honest, we were the team on top. We were the team with the possession. But that's what happens when you don't have transition defense on point, because it's such a pivotal part of the game. Especially when we are in the Premier League, we're going to be the team, right, that controls possession, tries to create factors when we're dominating the ball. So teams, lesser teams, are going to be relying on that transitional attack, that counter-attack to score goals against us. And if our defense isn't there, we're literally going to absolutely get ripped apart next season. We literally need to focus. Look at what Man City does. Next time you watch a Man City game, watch what they do. They're excellent in their transition defense. Teams don't have chances because they stop the transition defense. They either have players in the right position at the right time to intercept the ball, or you know what they do? They commit fouls. There's nothing wrong with committing fouls in football. A nice little foul, tactical foul here, there. More times you wouldn't even get a yellow card. Just a little tactical foul, so before they even get into the position to counter-attack, you just nullify it right there, get bodies behind the ball, and reset. That's what we need to learn. We need to learn how to tactical foul more. We need to learn to be more ugly in this football game. I know it's a friendly, but going into the season, you have to make some ugly, not necessarily friendly decisions, do some tactical fouls and stuff to get the result. But then I just got that off my chest, because that was a key part. To be fair, that was the main negative for me. Apart from that, we look good. We look good on the ball. We had some nice movement. There was some fluid attacking parts to it. And yeah, it looked decent. There was one problem at the end of the first half with Thomas Partey injured, which to me looked really bad. Apparently, it said, I saw on Twitter, it said 4 to 6 weeks. A doctor on Twitter analysed the injury and was like, from what I've seen, it looks like it could be an injury last 4 to 6 weeks, which is really disappointing, because that means he'll miss the first few games of the season, which is really poor, especially for that Brentford game. So honestly, every doctor, if you believe in black magic, whatever, just get every single voodoo doll, whatever, just get this geezer back into this team come Brentford. Not next Friday, but the Friday after, because he is a pivotal part of our midfield, honestly. Because he looked really good up to that point. I'm going to do the player ratings later, but he looked really good. So it's going to be really poor if we miss him, to be fair, for the first few games, especially when we've got a tough opening set of fixtures. So yeah, then going into half-time, we come out in the second half, a couple of changes. Ben White comes on for Rob Holding, which is good, because Rob Holding was not up to scratch today. I don't know whether it was because Ben White got signed and he was feeling a bit too much pressure for his position, but yeah, he was a couple of very stray passes. Ben White came on and he started off with an absolutely goal-saving tackle. Another one. We literally concede and it goes back onto transition defense, which is not up to scratch. Havertz plays through Ziyech, and Ziyech is through and he just dilly-dallies. Chambers does well, kind of putting him off, and then Ben White slides in, superhero defensive recovery, and blocks it. But yeah, that could have been 2-0 Chelsea, probably should have been, to be honest. We then do eventually score. Xhaka comes on, and of course he's linked away, scores from a corner, Pepe whips it in, and Xhaka heads it down into the net. Nice, perfect finish, heads it into the ground, using the momentum of the ball, and we draw level 1-1. And it's about time we scored from a set piece, man. I was saying it previously, we never seem to score from set pieces. I don't know what it is. We struggle. We need to get some more set piece routines or something, or get more powerful from headers, because, yeah, we did score from, which was nice to see. But literally 3 minutes later, we concede again, man. This time it's Hector Bellerin. The brother is out of his depth. He needs to literally leave this football club, because that was what he did here was poor. The ball comes in from Lokonga, and it's a simple pass. I'd expect the 5-year-old to make this pass, to be honest. It's to Xhaka or it's up the line. And he just passes it into no one. It goes well past Xhaka. Tammy Abraham's through. And Tammy Abraham, first of all, we're linked to him. I don't know why, because he's really bad. He's not a clinical striker, right? But even he could score this. It was so on a plate for him. It was literally center of the field, literally edge of the box. He just passed it into the corner. He barely even shot. He just passed it into the corner of the net. Leno couldn't get there in time, and that gave Chelsea 2-1 leads. And then we did eventually score through Willock, but obviously Stevie Wonder was on lino and Ray Charles was on referee, because I don't know how this wasn't given. It cut back and from Pepe to Joe Willock, who got subbed on, and he literally whips it. It hits the crossbar, bounces out and goes out, and they weren't giving it a goal. I knew it was in, because the way the ball, it bounced into the net at an angle and bounced out that way. Anyone could see, anyone that has a footballing brain could know, yeah, that's got to be in, because the way it bounced out, it's not about whether it got past line or not. It's just, you could see by the way the ball bounced out, the spin it had on the ball, that it had to have gone into the net. There's no other possible explanation for it to do that. Wasn't given, and yeah, then Chelsea had a couple of chances on the counter-attack, but the game finished 2-1 to them, and they take the first win in the Mind Series round-robin tournament. So yeah, that was a quick summary. Well, I say quick. It was a summary of the game for those of you that missed it. I'm going to go through the player ratings now. Bern Leno in goal, a 6. Passing out the back is a humongous problem for our football club, man. We just can't perfect it. We've had so many managers try and get us past out the back, and we just can't seem to do it at a good enough standard. It's absolutely atrocious. Honestly, I'm actually going to give him, I'm going to downgrade it to a 5 for Leno, because he's had a couple of shockers passing out the back. His shot stopping, to be fair, was alright for the most part. I don't think he had really much of a chance with either of the goals. But yeah, just that passing out the back is poor. Tierney, I'm going to give him a 6. He was better in the first half. He got subbed off towards the end of the second half. He took the man on, but then in the second half kind of fizzled out. Didn't do much, but it wasn't our worst offender. I'll give him a 6. Pablo Mari gets a 5. Transition defense, poor, man. Him and Holding, very, very poor, getting cut out. It's either Holding tries to snatch the ball, which you can't do when Chelsea leave their strikers up the pitch, or it's the other way around, and Mari tries to snatch the ball. Either way, both of them, I'm going to give them both a 4. Mari and Holding both. Chambers, I'll give him a 6. He actually looked decent. He made some good overlapping runs, good crossing into the box, etc. And to be fair, he was probably one of our best defenders, even though he's the fullback that's meant to be getting on the pitch. He made a great defensive play on Hakim Ziyech to stop him scoring. Thomas in midfield, honestly, I'm going to give him an 8. He was the best player, man. He was honestly our best player. He was making things happen from midfield. He was stealing the ball high up the pitch. It's just such a shame to see him get injured, because I would have loved to see him carry that forward momentum into the Brentford's game and onto the Premier League season. But yeah, it's just unfortunate. Hopefully he's back soon. El Neni next to him just looked levels below Partey, man. Literally, El Neni, I'll give him a 5. It wasn't his worst game, but you can just see, man, different kettle of fish. Partey to El Neni. It's just literally night and day. Pepe on the right wing played the whole game, was one of the only players not to get subbed off. And he had his burst. I'm going to give him a 6 because he had his burst, but nothing like world class for me. He didn't have any world beating times where I thought, wow, what a play there, what a skill move to take someone on. He just did his thing, looked a constant threat, but nothing really out of this world. Smith Rowe, I'll give him a 6 as well. Some nice turns into space, some nice movement. Had a really unlucky chance where he collected the ball from a Partey interception and just hit the post when he tried to, like Abraham's second goal, just tried to pass into the bottom corner, clip the post, is unlucky. Aubameyang, I'm going to give him a 5 because it's another game without a goal. He also stayed on the pitch the whole game. And he didn't have many chances, but the one chance he did have, boys, if you haven't seen it, watch the highlights. It'll be on Arsenal's channel later today. Nuno Tavares whips in a peach of a cross, and he just glances it well wide of the post, well wide. It's not even close. I don't know if he can see the goal. Does he need to put his contacts in or what? Because he just kind of not scored this pre-season, and he's had chances. It's really, really poor from Aubameyang. Lacazette also just didn't do anything, man. He was on the pitch for most of the first half, and Nketiah came off for 10 minutes and did more than Lacazette did for his 60 or 70 minutes. Literally just barely noticed he was playing, didn't really close people down, didn't really hold up the ball, didn't do much at all really. In terms of subs, I'm not going to rate all of them. Xhaka, because he played quite a lot, because he replaced Thomas. I'll give him an 8 as well, because he looked really good in midfield. Both of them looked really nice. Xhaka was dictating the play from deep and obviously scored, so that boosts his rating. And then Nketiah as well, I'll give him a 7, because he looked really electric on the ball. He was taking people on. And Nketiah's been our best player in pre-season, let's not lie. But yeah, that's just been the player ratings of the game. Let me know what you thought of the game in the comment section down below. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing. A lot of work to do going into our next game against Spurs in the Man Series and onto Premier League, because passing out the back, transition defense, and converting our chances, those 3 things, we need a lot of work on the training ground for Mikel Arteta. But yeah, I've been White Football, and I'll see you guys in the next video.